From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
13 degrees at 6:05. Good evening, I'm Jonathan Dent. 4 men have been arrested after the U.S. Marshals Service Eastern Michigan Task Force tracked a fugitive to Flint. According to the Marshals Service, Mount Pleasant police requested their help tracking James Ashley, who was wanted on felony firearms charges. Authorities say that the task force tracked Ashley to a residence in Flint and executed a search warrant on the building. When they made entry, officials say that Ashley and 3 other men left through the rear windows and were arrested by waiting task force members without incident. 7 firearms as well as ammunition and 74 pills of ecstasy were found at the residence by the task force. All 4 men are charged with felony firearm offenses, resisting arrest, and drug possession. After 2 years away, the chefs are back to compete in the 31st Annual Culinary Federation Hot Food Competition at Zender's in Frankenmuth. On February 13th, 22 local chefs will provide meals in 4 different categories. Melissa Krzyzanowski, a competitive baker and pastry baker at the famous Bavarian Inn, tells us how the day will go for those participating.
And then once the judging is completed and the winners are announced around 5:30, then we get to go set up for the open to public event where we have to provide, I think, over 350 smaller versions of what we plated for the judges earlier in the day.
Tickets are $40 each, and the event will help benefit the Great Lakes Bay Region Families Against Narcotics chapter. Tickets are available at www.zenders.com/ticketing. Saginaw County's 10th Circuit Court says Judge Janet Bowes is stepping down from the bench. Governor Gretchen Whitmer will appoint a new member to the position, granted authority to do so by the state constitution. To be considered for the role, any applicant must be a State Bar of Michigan member, meet all legal qualifications for the position, and live in the judicial district. Anyone meeting those requirements can use an online portal at michigan.gov/appointments to submit an appointment questionnaire, writing samples, resume, and supplemental documents. The deadline is February 13th by 5 o'clock p.m. For questions or more information, email judicialappointments@michigan.gov. WSGW News Time is 6:07. The weather forecast is coming up.
Check out the WSGW Sports Broadcast page on WSGW.com. Want to know when and which WSGW station you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football? Click on the Sports Broadcast box on WSGW.com.
WSGW News Time is 6:08. State police troopers from the Mount Pleasant Post are asking for help locating a missing girl. 17-year-old Jade Lee Sackett was last seen on January 25th. She's described as white, standing 5 feet tall and weighing 90 pounds. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, freckles on her face, and a tattoo on her left wrist and ankle. Police believe she may be in the Lansing or Saginaw area. Anyone with information is asked to call the Mount Pleasant State Police Post at 989-773-5951. The Coast Guard has announced that the annual Saginaw Bay Safety Zone will go into effect at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. While the safety zone is up, anyone looking to take a vessel through the Saginaw Bay will need to contact the Coast Guard Sector Detroit at 313-568-9560 to request permission at least 72 hours in advance. The annual restriction was put into place to protect ice fishermen and others who are out on the frozen lake, as boating traffic through the area could disrupt the ice's integrity. The outer border of the zone is an invisible line between the Tawas area to the tip of the thumb. The Coast Guard's rules say that the restrictions will remain in place until the icy conditions dissipate in spring. If you want to weigh in on the proposed expansion of Camp Grayling, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources wants to hear from you soon. The DNR has already received thousands of comments via their interactive map, email, and traditional mail. They'll continue to accept public comment on the plan through February 8th. The camp currently covers 148,000 acres in and around Grayling. The National Guard's proposed expansion of its Camp Grayling training facility would add another 162,000 acres to conduct training activities such as drone operation, cyber and electronic warfare, and operation of space and communications system. Stay tuned. We've got much more coming up on the Evening Roundup. Once again, I'm Jonathan Dent. Have a great weekend.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Gets his rebound. Back around. He goes. Jam play and he scores. Sebastian Gervais would not be denied.
The Saginaw Spirit hit the road on Friday night to battle the London Knights with coverage starting at 6:45 p.m. Then the Spirit are back home for a Saturday night showdown against the Ottawa 67s with coverage at 6:50 p.m. Both games can be heard on 100.5 FM. And plenty of great seats are still available for Saturday night's game. For ticket info, visit SaginawSpirit.com.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Wall Street ends the week lower after surprisingly strong jobs data. In New York, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all finished lower. Stocks of local interest are also lower. AT&T, 1983, down 45. CMS Energy, 62.75, down 97. Dow, $60 even, up a nickel. DuPont, 72.98, down 156. Corteva, 61.50, down 50. HP, 30.51, down 28. Huntington Banks, 15.45, down a nickel. Independent Bank, 23.04, up 34. Lumen Technologies, 5.26, down 35. Home Depot, 331.50, down 8.29. Walmart, 141.71, down 191. GM, 41.13, down 37. Trinzio, 30.40, up 60, and the price of a barrel of oil slid by $2.71, closing at $73.17 per barrel. This is Steve Anderson from Baird in Saginaw and Midland, wishing everyone a great night and even greater returns.
Local news and information for Saginaw, Bay City and Midland, and all of the Great Lakes Bay region. It's not easy or convenient to get unless you get the WSGW newsletter. I'm WSGW News Director Denise Shannon. Every weekday morning, WSGW sends a newsletter highlighting your local news. It's a newsletter you can get for free in your inbox. Sign up online at WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and click on the WSGW newsletter sign-up box.
Good evening. This is the WSGW Farm Final for Friday, February the 3rd, 2023. I'm Terry Henney. In Chicago today, mixed trading going on the Chicago Board of Trade, trending more so to the negative. The only positives we saw today were in the corn pit. As far as our weather is concerned, we had some sun, we had some clouds, we had some wind, and pretty chilly temperatures as well. Temperatures just barely above the 10-degree mark. It looks as though things once again are going to settle down as far as nighttime lows go. We'll be approaching zero as we move through the nighttime hours. But we're going to have a steady increase in those temperatures tomorrow, and it looks like some warmer weather on the horizon. We'll get into that weather forecast for you in a moment. But back to those closing prices. Wheat finishing down 4 at Star of the West this afternoon. Cass City Rapson as well as Frankenmuth looking at the white wheat at 7.17, the red wheat at 6.67, the new crop down 3, 7.47 for the white wheat, 6.97 for the red. Corn up 2 cents, Cass City Rapson as well as Frankenmuth 6.22, the new crop up a penny at 5.36, the soybeans down 2 in Frankenmuth 14.57, the new crop unchanged at 13.05. In Michigan's thumb, $14.52 on the nearby $13 with the futures contract of soybeans. We're looking for low tonight of 0. Sun will set this evening at 5:50. Rise tomorrow morning at 7:49. Looking at mostly cloudy skies as we go through the nighttime hours and into the day tomorrow. The winds are going to continue to pick up. We'll see southwesterly winds gusting to better than 35 miles per hour as we go through the afternoon and into the nighttime hours tomorrow. Temperatures will only drop off about 2-3 degrees on Saturday night. There is going to be the chance of maybe a flurry on Sunday, but it'll be lake effect type activity, if anything, and highly unlikely because, once again, we're going to be looking at a southwest wind gusting to 35 miles per hour on Sunday, 37 for a high, 20 for a low. Then the work week. It looks as though temperatures are going to be right around that 40-degree mark, if not warmer. Don't be a bit surprised if we see some mid-40s to upper 40s as we work our way through the work week. Next best chance of rain, well, it's going to be on again, off again light pretty much all week long, starting on Monday night. The threat of having measurable amount of precipitation looks like it could appear the end of next week. That's a look at the markets, the market report for this evening. Join us on Monday for the early morning edition at 5:30 and your first look at the markets at 11:40 on WSGW.
WSGW. Your source for local news and information in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.